Team Guy continues to fight with their clones, and Guy notices that there seems to be no more noise emanating from the Akatsuki hideout. Neji uses his Byakugan and verifies to the team that Sakura and Chiyo have managed to defeat Sasori. However, because the clones still exist, Neji theorizes that perhaps it must have been Deidara who cast the jutsu, although he also adds the possibility that even if the caster is defeated, the jutsu will still continue. Back in the cave, Sakura heads to the exit to the cave as Chiyo collapses, due to the poison in her system. Having no more antidote on her, she tells Chiyo that they should rush back to Sand Village, where she will send a request to Konoha to send her the materials she needs to make more antidote. Chiyo, however, does not wish to return yet, as she believes she has not finished with her duty yet. Outside, Naruto and Kakashi continue to pursue Deidara, the latter now wielding his Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto tells Kakashi that even his newfound Sharingan technique does not work, he himself will find a way to defeat Deidara. Meanwhile, Team Guy continues to fight their clones, although they get beaten as their clones seem stronger. Neji tells them that the clones have not gotten stronger, but that they have gotten weaker. Since they are of flesh and blood, they can get tired and exhausted, but the clones have no such drawbacks. Lee, however, theorizes that since the clones maintain the exact same level of strength as they had the moment they ripped off the seals, then they would simply need to be stronger than they were then. Tenten finds the idea of gaining extra strength in a short time ludicrous, but Lee recalls back to their training days, where their team motto was to be stronger than they were yesterday. Lee tells them that his own personal credo is to be stronger than he was a minute ago, and manages to use youthful power to defeat his clone. Tenten uses manipulated tools, Heavenly Chain Disaster, which is a stronger version of her twin Rising Dragons technique, to impale her clone. Guy uses Leaf Great Flash to take down his clone. And Neji uses 8 trigrams Mountain Crusher, which is a stronger version of his 8 trigrams Vacuum Palm, to send his clone flying through a boulder, defeating it. Sakura and Chiyo follow Naruto and Kakashi's trail, but the poison in Chiyo's body slows her progress down significantly, almost causing her to fall off. Sakura notices that she should be knocked out by now, and that it is only the sheer force of her will that is keeping her conscious. Sakura attempts to persuade her to return to Sand Village to be treated, but she tells Sakura that she still has something left to do. Supporting Chiyo, Sakura continues to follow their trail, recalling Naruto's anger at Deidara when the latter sat on Gaara's body and declared that the Kazekage was dead. Naruto and Kakashi continue to pursue Deidara, who is flying above them on his giant clay bird. Using his Mangekyo Sharingan's interdimensional warping technique, Kemui, Kakashi attempts to force Deidara into a vortex. He struggles with using a jutsu of this magnitude and is unable to kill Deidara, but manages to warp and rip his right arm off. Having no arms left, as his left arm was crushed and removed by Gaara's sand-binding coffin during their fight, Deidara attempts to flee. Kakashi attempts to use Kemui again, but Deidara is able to fly and avoid being sucked in once more. Kakashi is exhausted from using his Mangekyo Sharingan and is forced to stop and rest. Seeing this, Deidara believes he has successfully escaped and lets down his guard, only for Naruto and his shadow clone to rush at Deidara in midair with Rasengan. Deidara leaps out of the way, but Naruto's Rasengan manages to hit his clay bird, tearing it in two. Creating 2 more shadow clones, Naruto catches the front part of the bird and pries Gaara's body out its mouth. He pleads with Gaara to wake up, but finally realizes in anguish that Gaara is dead. Having defeated their clones, Team Guy sets off to provide backup for Team Kakashi. Guy attempts to communicate using their wireless radio, but is out of range. He asks Neji to spot them, and the latter uses his Byakugan to report that Naruto and Kakashi have successfully rescued Gaara, although he then notices that Gaara is dead. Angered that the Akatsuki have claimed Gaara's life, Naruto vows to avenge his friend. Deidara tells Naruto that perhaps they will face off sometime in the future. Kakashi alerts Deidara that he has let his guard down once more, and the real Naruto, under the influence of the Nine-Tails chakra, appears behind Deidara and punches him to the ground. Creating more shadow clones, the clones each grab onto one of Deidara's limbs as the Akatsuki member crashes onto the hard ground, landing on his back. Naruto then leaps from the tree and lands forcefully on Deidara himself, and proceeds to pummel Deidara's face until Naruto's knuckles are bloodied. Wanting to kill Deidara, Naruto prepares his Rasengan and drives it into Deidara's stomach. Deidara manages to use body replacement technique, avoiding the damage. Full of hatred towards Deidara and anger towards Gaara's death, Naruto begins to draw out more of the Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra, causing the red chakra to envelop around Naruto and forming a red chakra tail, transforming the Jinchuriki into his one-tailed form. He attempts to locate Deidara, but to no avail. Kakashi recalls Jiraiya warning him about Naruto's nine-tailed cloak form, telling him to stop the transformation before Naruto grows a second tail. In order to halt the transformation, he gave Kakashi a seal that would suppress all the chakra in Naruto's body. Naruto then begins to grow a second tail, the additional chakra causing his shadow clones to feel a burning sensation, with the shadow clone near Kakashi, dispelling itself out of pain. Naruto rushes towards the woods, destroying the trees in his vicinity. Kakashi leaps down and attempts to calm him down, only for Naruto to launch an attack at Kakashi. Kakashi dodges it and stamps the seal on Naruto's forehead protector, shutting down his chakra and reverting him back to normal. As Naruto's transformation subsides, Sakura and Chiyo arrive, where the pair announce that Sasori has been dealt with. Surprised that the two kunoichi killed Sasori, Deidara attempts to slither out of the bush he is hiding in and to escape, only for his path to be blocked by Team Guy, who had used Niji's Byakugan to locate him. Deidara is impressed with the Hyuga clan's Kekkei Genkai, wondering how it compares against the Uchiha clan's Sharingan, but adds that he does not have the time to stick around and find out. Team Guy attempts to stop his escape. Despite having no arms, Deidara swiftly dodges Tenten, Guy and Lee. Niji, however, manages to hit with his 8 trigrams vacuum palm. Deidara survives the attack and heads towards the body of his giant clay bird, using his teeth to bite off a chunk of the clay and converting it to explosive clay using his mouth. Deidara then swells up and seemingly self-detonates. Team Guy attempts to escape the blast radius, but the range of the explosion is too big. However, the explosion is countered by Kakashi's Kamui, which is able to warp it to a different dimension just in time, although the usage of his Mangekyo Sharingan causes Kakashi to collapse. Naruto's shadow clones, carrying Gaara's body, regroup with the others. Naruto asks Sakura if there is anything she could do to save Gaara, still clinging on to the hope that he may be resuscitated. Sakura attempts to do so, but fails. Naruto cries out in anger over Gaara having been killed, despite just recently reaching his dream of being Kazekage. He begins to weep, claiming that he was not able to save Sasuke and despite training for 3 years, he was unable to save Gaara. When Chiyo tells him to calm down, he lashes out at her, blaming her and the rest of Sand Village for sealing Shikaku inside Gaara. He holds them responsible as they did not take Gaara's feelings or life into consideration, and detests them to sealing tailed beasts inside of people to create Jinchuriki, claiming that they had no right to alter that person's life or fate in any way whatsoever. Naruto's words cut deep wounds for Chiyo, as she was the one who sealed Shikaku inside of Gaara. Wanting to atone for her past, she decides to resurrect Gaara at the cost of her own life.